Good evening and a happy Christmas. These Christmas videos from the Rathfriland district have taken on a little bit of a theme over this last few years. We looked at Christmas songs. A couple of years ago, we looked at favourite Christmas movies last year, and this year I started to think about favourite scenes from Christmas TV programmes. And for me, it would have to be something from Only Fools and Horses, whether Batman and Robin running through the streets of Peckham, or the wine bar scene with Del Boy and Trigger, and Del falling through the bar without flinching. But I think my favourite is the one where the Trotters got the contract to clean the chandeliers in a stately home. And they rolled up, and Del and Rodney got their ladder and climbed up with a blanket underneath the chandelier that they were removing, while Grandad undid the bolt up above. And as he hit it a thump and shouted, "Here we go," there was a massive crash in the room next door. Rodney and Dale had their ladder in the wrong place. And strangely, I began to think about this a few weeks ago in church. The preacher was speaking on Zacchaeus, and sometimes when we hear about Zacchaeus, we think of somebody not very successful. We think about somebody who was maybe a bit down in their luck, that they were having to climb a tree to see Jesus. But that's not actually what we read about Jesus or about Zacchaeus when we read it, because this is what it says. It says that a man was there by the name of Zacchaeus, and he was a chief tax collector and was wealthy. You see, Zacchaeus wasn't down on his luck at all. Zacchaeus wasn't financially compromised in any way. Zacchaeus was very successful at his chosen career and had risen to the top of it. And along the way, by fair means or foul, had managed to pack away a nice little nest egg. But despite all that success, as the world would see it, all that financial security, there was something missing for Zacchaeus. He didn't have that deep peace. He didn't have contentment. He didn't feel that he was secure. He, if you like, had his ladder against the wrong wall. He had climbed successfully to the top of the ladder, but it was leaning against the wrong wall. Jesus, in that very first Christmas, came billed as the Prince of Peace. He came to bring peace. He came to give himself for peace. The host of angels instructed those who would listen that there would be peace on earth. Zacchaeus found the peace and the contentment that he so desired that day when he met Jesus. He came down from the ladder he had been climbing, and he began to climb with Jesus. He began to plan with Jesus. And I suppose in a week or two, we'll be starting to think about New Year and our plans for that, how we're going to be more successful, how we're going to be better at our job, how we're going to buy a bit more land or a new tractor, how we're going to get on in our relationships. And for the Rathfriland district, it's a huge year. Only 200 more sleeps until the 12th of July in Rathfriland. We've got lots to plan in that year. We're looking forward to it. But whether for the district or whether for each of us as individuals, planning without God is crazy. It will lead either to, as Rodney and Dale found out, an accident waiting to happen, or as Zacchaeus found out, to an emptiness and a lack of peace and satisfaction. So whatever you set out to do in this new year, make sure your ladder's leaning against the right wall. Make sure you're planning and climbing with Jesus. James tells us elsewhere in Scripture that to make our plans, to say that we're going to do this or that tomorrow, it's foolish talk. Who are we? We're only a mist that will blow away. Instead, we should say, if it's the Lord's will, then I'll do this or that tomorrow. So I pray that you will find Jesus this Christmas. You will find Jesus in the middle of Christmas, and you won't leave him there, but you will plan upon him and you will climb upon him as you go out into this new year. May I bring you Christmas wishes from the district officer team in Rathfriland. and I trust that you will be surrounded by loved ones this Christmas. And for those who have lost in the past year, we bring you our deepest sympathy and our care and our compassion. If there's anything that we can do for you practically, please do get in touch with one of the district officers. We look forward to enjoying a great year in 2026 around Rathfriland. In the meantime, have a lovely, jubbly Christmas. Thank you.